What is up, guys? John Anthony from masculinedevelopment.com, and I want to talk about why we need more male teachers. And I want to start off with a story that I think illustrates the difference between how men teach and how women teach. So, when I was in middle school, there was this kid who was bullying me, and it wouldn't stop. He kept doing it, right? And I remember one day in the middle of class, a class of about 30 people, this kid started bullying me, right? He started making snide comments and, saying little rude remarks about me in the middle of class, interrupting class and embarrassing me in front of 30 people, right? And the teacher, the female teacher, she didn't really do anything. She just basically kept telling him, hey, stop talking, be quiet, right? So finally, when this kid just kept pushing me, I stood up and started walking towards him, right? I wanted to confront him. And the teacher immediately viewed that as more of a threat than this kid talking shit all class, interrupting class, being disrespectful to me. She viewed it as more of a threat that I wanted to stand up for myself than this kid who was just being an obnoxious little cunt, right? An obnoxious little cunt, tongue twister. And she told me, sit down, right? Very seriously. She said, sit down. Don't ever do that again. And it was humiliating, right? As a young boy trying to stand up for himself, I was shocked, right? This teacher wasn't standing up for me. She wasn't doing anything about this kid bullying me in the middle of class in front of 30 people. I was losing respect from the other students, more and more by the second, right? And I was shocked. I didn't understand, why wouldn't she put that kid in his place? And why was it that when I tried to stand up for myself, she viewed that as worse, right? I didn't get it. And so later that day, actually, I found the kid during recess and I tackled him. I pushed him onto the ground, and I said, fuck you, stop talking shit about me, stop bullying me. And one of the male teachers grabbed me by the shirt and pulled me off of him, and he told me to do 20 push-ups, right? So I did the 20 push-ups, but I'll never forget the stark difference in how a male teacher versus a female teacher dealt with that situation, right? The female teacher, she, above all else, she wanted to stop any sort of physical conflict, right? She would rather have this kid be passive-aggressive and bitchy and basically be a coward and talk shit and be disrespectful during class than just have me physically confront him and stop the problem once and for all, right? But the male teacher, he didn't give me a detention. He didn't send me to the office. He understood that young boys have disagreements and sometimes they just need to hash it out, right? That's not toxic. That's not toxic masculinity. It's just a fact. And when he pulled me off that kid and told me to do 20 push-ups, right? I did the push-ups and it was over. That kid never bullied me ever again because he knew that I would kick his ass if he did, right? And this is the difference in male versus female teachers. Female teachers would rather have constant passive aggressiveness, constant bullying, constant disrespect than any sort of physical confrontation. Male teachers prefer to deal with the problem here and now. They understand that young boys sometimes get in fights and that's okay because it builds character. And that's why we need more male teachers, because fundamentally young boys cannot be made into men without male role models. We need male teachers. Another story, actually. When I was in high school, a few years later, after this incident, I got a little bit cocky, right? I decided that I was going to walk into this male teacher's classroom the very first day of class, and I was going to show him up. And without thinking, he immediately saw that I was being a class clown. He pulled me aside, pushed me against the wall, and said, look, I don't know what it's like in other classrooms, but in this classroom, you are going to respect me. And immediately I respected him. He didn't send me to the office. He didn't, deal with me using the school bureaucracy. He didn't, send me somewhere else to the vice principal's office or whatever. He just confronted me then and there and dealt with the problem. And I respected him because of that, right? A female teacher would have been passive aggressive. They would have sent me to the office. They would have put a derogatory mark on my report card or whatever. But this male teacher understood what it's like to be a young dude who's a little bit cocky and who just needs to be put in his place, right? And that is fundamentally the difference between male and female teachers. Male teachers and males in general are not afraid of conflict. women want to avoid conflict above all else, and they would rather have passive aggressiveness and, constant little bits of disrespect than physical conflict. And I actually went on to have one of the best years that I've ever had in that class. I learned more from that male teacher who confronted me than anyone else I'd ever learned from before. And the reason why is because I respected him. I respected the fact that even though he did confront me, he had the courage to do it, and he didn't go behind some school bureaucracy, right? So this story, I hope, illustrates the importance of male versus female teachers. I could make a 50-hour video on this topic, but I'm going to go hit the gym. So if you like the video, please obviously like it, subscribe to my channel, share it with someone who needs to hear this. And as always, guys, hope you enjoyed my content. Let me know what you think down below. I'm going to go smash the gym, and I will see you guys next time.